We began by exploring the soul of sacred numerology, that numbers are a spiritual structure for our life journey. And that when we look at our birth path, we remember that our life is not random, that we are not victims, that we signed up for a certain course on purpose to build our strength or whatever it is we needed to learn or wanted to learn in this lifetime. And so we're never a victim to the birth path. It is our soul that chose it for our highest good, knowing that we could succeed, that we could accomplish our soul mission on that birth path, or our soul wouldn't have chosen it. So your path is perfect for you. And when you look at it as the class you've come to participate in and bring your gifts to and grow from, then you can walk that birth path more gracefully than if you're unaware of it or resisting it. And we listened to the heart's desire, which is sometimes different, very different energy from the birth path. The birth path might be sending us on a journey of building our strength and working hard, and then our heart's desire might be spiritual retreat and quiet and sanctuary and heaven. So when we learn that, we learn how to try to merge those things together, the birth path and the heart's desire. We learned about our essential vibration, which is really about how the world reads us and reads our frequency, and how that affects our choices here and how we navigate. And then we looked at the pinnacle, the personality numbers, which I love talking about because the personality number can be very, very different from your birth path or your heart's desire. And once you understand that personality number, you really understand more about why you are the way you are in social situations, and how people first get to know you. The door they walk through to get to know you is that personality number. So that's always very helpful, and it helps us not judge ourselves or other people when we look at this, because then we realize, oh, that person has a such and such personality number. So I may think they're cold or something, but I'm not really understanding the deeper part of them. So it asks us to look at each other soul to soul in a much deeper way, not just the human ego personality, superficial way that we judge each other, which is just so wrong and so unhelpful. It's always better to go, I'm going to go look up their birthday and figure out their birth path and what they're trying to learn. And that will help me understand them. Whether it's a politician you're judging, a celebrity you're judging, or a friend, it is so helpful to dig deep into their numerology in order to understand them better, because then you can navigate the relationship in such a healthier way. Um, the most important part of numerology, in my opinion, is divine timing. So we looked at the personal years and the pinnacles, which I love so very much, and looking at how when you're in a 9 year, even if your life is going great, there's going to be stuff that comes up that needs to be released, that needs to be changed, but that's good. It's serving your growth, because if you do that gracefully, then the next year begins a new cycle, and that new cycle will bring you to a better and greater life and understanding. It's all a stairway of evolution in our lifetimes. We're never just starting over, we're just taking the next step up. And we want to ascend that stairway in this lifetime. It's what we came to do. And it brings us to our highest expression of our true self. And for the greatest fun, we explored soul agreements, which are so wonderful to look at because it really takes the ego out of it all and the personality battles out of it. When you really look at that soul agreement that you have, even if it's a really hard relationship, that's somebody maybe you're divorcing or somebody you can't get along with, once you know the soul agreement number, it just softens the edges because you can understand, so this will always happen in this relationship until I master this and learn how to dance with it from my soul's understanding rather than the human understanding. Um, and then, of course, we looked at how the angels help us navigate all this. If it were just the numbers, if it were just our souls walking through this life on these paths without the angels all around us, helping us every moment, it would be so much harder. So I urge you all to accept and acknowledge that you are surrounded by angels at all times. Often it's only when we have an out of body experience, a near death experience, or a shared death experience that we really feel and understand that we're surrounded by angels and divine beings and that we're never alone. But once we see that image and we understand that it's real and true, it takes away our fear. And I always, I talk to myself all the time, but I'm not really talking to myself. I'm talking to my angels. I'm talking to my departed loved ones. And, when you have that ongoing conversation with the divine beings around you, then it's just so much more fun. You can crack yourself up talking to them and laugh, or you can say, help me understand this difficult moment that I'm in. Please give me a sign that you're with me. Please help me understand how to move through this. All of those requests are always answered by the angels. They can't interfere with us. So we have to sort of say yes to them, like, yes, angels, I know you're here. Now help me with this. I receive your help. And then the other thing is they cannot change our final exit point. And the reason that's so important to know is that once you realize that your soul plan has a final exit point that your soul created in collaboration with all of your soul group before this lifetime began, meaning your family of origin, your current family, everybody who's important to you, were all in on the creation of your soul's exit date for this lifetime. Once you realize that, again, it takes away a lot of fear, because if it's not my day that I'm meant to cross over, then I'm not going to be on that plane that crashes, or I'm not going to there's so many beautiful stories about people who missed certain flights that then crashed, and those are just little examples that if it's not our day, if it's not our moment, we're not going to cross. And that should give you so much comfort if you're grieving a loved one, because we tend to blame ourselves when somebody we love dies, especially if it's a child, because we feel that it's our job to take care of them and keep them alive. And yes, that's true in the human way of viewing it. We are here to care for, nurture, and take care of our beautiful children. But if your child crossed, there was nothing you could do to change that. If I could really help you understand that, it was their soul's plan. That final exit point cannot be changed or missed. I was talking to a mom just yesterday who's been on this journey for, a decade or so. She totally understands that her son's early death was part of a soul plan. Her son talks to her in spirit all the time. But she said the human mind comes back every now and then and says, well, why did you not do this? Or why couldn't you have done that? It would have prevented it. So I guess the ultimate message is when the human mind comes in and does that to you, the first thing you do is say, angels, lift me up into the soul's view. Angels, love me, lift me. Help me understand my beautiful departed beloved one crossed exactly in their soul exit, and the angels will bring you a sign right away. In fact, this mom was telling me that she got a sign that day that yes, it was all part of the soul's plan. And you can ask your departed as well. You can say, I need to hear from you, beautiful son or whoever it is, daughter, father, sister, partner. I need to hear from you to know that all is well, and this was part of our soul plan and our agreement. And they will respond, they will get that message to you in many different ways. We have to trust the messages, we have to trust the angels, and we have to trust those gut feelings we get that tell us when we have an answer and when we're getting a sign. And this is so important with numbers. Again, when you see angel numbers, when you see double numbers, triple numbers, license plate numbers, clock numbers, all this, don't go instantly into your left brain and go, what is the meaning of that number? I'm worried about that meaning. Instead, feel into the energy of that number as it's coming to you and ask, what is my gut or my heart telling me this number is meaning? What is the sign I'm being given? And first, trust your heart. Don't go right into your logic mind trying to figure it out that way. In fact, I got a question from one of you that was very much in the mind. I'm worried because my challenge and my pinnacle is blah, blah, blah. That's the mind of fear that our human self wants to go into. I can promise all of you that whatever pinnacle you're under right now, whatever personal year you're in, whatever's coming for the rest of your life and those pinnacles, personal years, and everything else, it's exactly perfect for what you came to learn. And we're not here to be miserable. You did not create a soul plan of pure misery. You came to create a soul plan that gave you great gifts, great opportunities, great growth. And as long as you stay with the angels helping you walk it with grace, you're going to get there. You're going to accomplish that soul mission. And it won't be a life of misery. Trust me, we don't plan a life of misery. And so let the numbers remind you of sacred rhythm. Let the angels enfold you in divine love. All is well with your soul and always has been. And I just want to read the channeled message from the angels for today. Beloved soul, you're designed with wisdom woven into the very fabric of your being. Numbers are gentle reminders of who you are and what you came here to do. Your birth date was chosen with intention. Your name carries vibration, and your cycles unfold with purpose. When you feel alone, return to love. When you feel lost, return to stillness. You're always protected. Angels elevate you into a loving presence and into divine healing. You are deeply loved.